Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be potting up some plants for my chameleon enclosure. For those of you that don't know, chameleons have to have plants inside of their enclosure. It is good for coverage, making them feel safe, which in turn makes them less stressed, which helps them with having a longer life. I showed you some clips a second ago of what the enclosure looked like before. So I have a bunch of plants right here, and I have my LECA right here. I have pots with drainage and pots without drainage. These are just food containers from the Dollar Tree. I have a bowl of water right here to rinse the roots in case I need to rinse them a little bit more. I have some scissors to make some cuts if I need to. And honestly, that's about it. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with a big pot of pothos because I have a spot in the top of the enclosure that the dripper from the top drips water down into consistently. So I need to have one towards the top that has some drainage in it. So I think I'm gonna do pothos in this one because pothos is really good at growing in water. So I know that over time this one will be one of the better options. I have two different types of pothos. I have this golden pothos, and then I have this one. I don't entirely know what it is. It kind of looks like a marble queen, but it has some fenestrations in the middle, and it's variegated a little bit. So it's pretty cool, but I want to kind of keep them together and not like mixed in the same pot, just so, I don't know, it's a little better. I'm gonna be losing a lot of roots, I think. So a reason why I decided to switch up, I'm just going to be kind of dividing these up a little bit as I go. The reason that I wanted to switch up the way I was potting the plants inside of my chameleon's enclosure is because my chameleon likes to eat plants. That is just one of the many amazing things about chameleons. So with that, you have to have plants that are safe for them inside of the enclosure. I found out that a big chunk of the plants that I had inside of her enclosure were actually ones that she wasn't really safe to be eating consistently. They weren't like toxic, but they're not good for her in the slightest. Ooh, this one's nice. It has a really long stem. A really long vine, which I like to have at the top. I would like to have this at the top. I think I have too much in here. There we go. That is a good one. A big chunk of the plants that I had inside of the top of her enclosure that was giving her most of like her coverage and safety feeling were actually ones that she wasn't supposed to have in there. I had to switch them out anyway, but I've noticed recently that a lot of the plants that I had put in there started showing signs of root rot. They were just starting to look like really nasty. And the soil that I had used previously started turning into like a soupy mess. So I decided to try out LECA inside of her enclosure. I think that it's going to be really useful in the long run. I'm gonna do that one in a separate. I think it's gonna be really useful in the long run just because honestly, there's so much water that's involved with chameleon enclosures. You have to have a dripper going constantly and you have to mist it all the time. And the just normal soil inside of there isn't really anything that you can like prevent root rot from happening. And especially because you can't really use a super chunky soil mix just because there's a risk of impaction with those. I suppose there is a tiny bit of a risk with LECA as well, but I don't foresee her trying to eat it. So I hope that's not an issue in the future, but we shall see. This is just the only thing I could think of as being a good alternative. Some of these are gonna die off a little bit just because they don't have water roots right now, which I could see being an issue in the future. However, that's future me's problem. Right now, I am working on separating the two different types of pothos that I have. Oh my god, there's some really massive ones. This is huge. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to cut those roots back because those are just gonna rot. These can go into one. These can go into one. Maybe the same one, actually. I've also never tried LECA before, so I'm a little bit nervous for that, just because I feel like this is a crazy thing to experiment with LECA for the first time. But I am excited to try it. Okay, I think this is probably going to be the last one. So I think after this pot's going to be pretty full. Okay, here is one. You can see all the roots in there, which is going to be really helpful in the future because I'm going to be able to see, like, I'm going to be able to see when I need to repot this, which hopefully shouldn't be for quite a while. And I left one with like a really long vine so that way it can kind of trail down. This is another plant that I'm going to put in there. This is a hibiscus. It's like a type of bush or tree, I guess, and it flowers. It's safe for chameleons. I figured this would be a good one to put at the bottom so it can kind of fill the mid-range over time. And this one is going to go into a pot with drainage as well. I think that this one, that's kind of small for this. I'm going to do a big one for this one. Oh gosh, well, I'm running out of room already. This is the biggest pot size. But yeah, that looks good. This is feeling a tiny bit wobbly, but I can Definitely prop this up inside of the enclosure. This is so cute. Yeah, this is nice. And I'm gonna love being able to see the roots growing, and it's gonna be so much better. The pots that I had inside of there before were black at the bottom, which would fade into the bottom so you weren't like, it didn't look messy, I guess. But I think this is gonna be a lot more beneficial for the plants in the long run, being able to see. Okay, I topped this one up kind of a lot, but I think it's going to be helpful in helping it from tip over, especially if she walks down here and in these branches. Over time, it'll get stronger too. I think she's really going to like this one, and I hope that it really covers up the mid-range well. Okay. Burning through my LECA here. Next, I have this money tree. Now, this is the one that started showing a lot of signs of root rot. And you can see it like started yellowing down here, and there's like barely any roots left. It just was a muddy mess. There's some roots that look like we're trying to grow around this. So I'm going to leave that out a little bit. I don't want to like fully bury it because I don't want it to get messed up. Honestly, this pot even seems kind of big for it, but that's all I got. Money tree. I really hope this one makes a comeback because it's super cute. However, I'm kind of scared for it. I have faith in her, but she is on the struggle bus for real. This one, this is a umbrella plant. Or firework plant, or whatever you want to call it. She's really cute. It was even bigger than this, but it started dropping a lot of its leaves because the root system took a big loss. Like, this root system is tiny. Same with the money tree. I think I could get away with doing this one in an even smaller pot, but this is all I've got right now. I especially don't want it to be like too small to where it sits in too much water, because while it's sitting in the bottom of the enclosure, it's gonna like start wicking up water from the base, and if this is too close to the bottom, it'll just be sitting in way too much water, and that's gonna put it at risk for root rot as well. I really hope that Matcha doesn't see this LECA and think like it's a snack. Hopefully she won't, because I don't think she was trying to eat any of the dirt or anything that was in there. Okay, here is our umbrella plant. Right now it looks like I have enough for honestly like 4 or maybe even 5 pots worth, which is Crimson. Crimson is getting into a box right now. Okay, this is Golden. This is New Guy. And not sure how I'm gonna do this one. All right, I'm gonna make a snip in this one just because it's just kind of too much. It's too much. And this is gonna promote water roots as well for this guy. Oh no. No, I broke a leaf and it was so cute. Look at that. Dang it. Okay. I was being real rough with this thing though, honestly. Honestly, with this one, I think I'm just gonna chop right here just because there's no leaves on this half and I just don't want to deal with that. So, this is a good one. The only thing with splitting this a lot is I'm going to use a lot more LECA. I just thought of that, which should be fine. Okay, this is the new one. So it'll be good in there, maybe. Here is more of the new one. Should be fine in here as well. This one is golden. I don't know how much more of the golden that I have though. Dang, I was being really rough with these plants. I broke leaves. Okay. This one is really cute. Look at that. Look at that variegation. It's so beautiful. This one though is pushing out a new leaf. I'm a little bit nervous it's gonna have a hard time. Also, this is just a lot of root. So I'm gonna trim this and hope that it promotes some water roots to grow. This might be good in this one. So I'm curious. Do you guys have reptiles? What kind do you have if you do? Are you wanting some? Are you watching this video because you like plants or because you like chameleons? I like both, so there's that. I used to always think that I wouldn't really like be that into chameleons for some reason. I don't know. I always thought they were really, that's a lie. I always thought they were really cool, but I never like saw myself having one, like for real having one. It's also, reptiles are so much to learn. There's so much to learn. And personally, I've found that as I've gotten older, I've had a lot more fun learning about them and learning about like plants and different like care of different animals. Honestly, I've always been super into, ew, look at this leaf. The store was not doing good with this girl. I've always been really into plants and I have found myself getting more and more into them as I've gotten older. Same with animals. I've always really liked them, but I never like had crazy exotic ones. But once I got my own place, like a house, and I've had the opportunity to like fully explore different animals and kind of like learn about them, it has caused me to want all of them, which is a lot of fun, but also not, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. Girl, I'm just rambling here. What are we talking about, guys? What are we talking about? Anyway, what kind of animals do you have? What kind of plants do you have? What's your favorite? To do some plant talk, I have started. Wow. Wow, guys, that's a lot. I think that having a lot of different ones in here is going to make it, one, feel really full, but it's also going to help each other in growing better roots. Or I'm making that up. Or I am making that up. Oh my god, I broke so many cute leaves. Why did I do that? I was being so dramatic out there with these, honestly. There's so many. There's so many. There's so many. I just realized how many there are, and there's so many. Wow, I really cannot keep a train of thought right now. I'm just too locked in. I think that seems pretty full. Yeah. We will stop this one here, unless I have some baby ones I can fill in. I'm not sure that I have this one. This one can fit in here. Plants. I recently got really into plants. I have always liked them, like I was saying, but I've been like fully watching like different plant videos and learning different types and names and all of that, and it's a lot of fun. So in doing that, I discovered a Hoya linearis. Girl, if you don't know what that is, it is so amazing and beautiful, and I got one. And it's literally teeny tiny itty bitty baby, and I am obsessed with it, and I cannot wait for it to grow even bigger. It's gonna be massive, and I'm gonna love it. I think a thing that has really pushed me into getting more plants recently is the fact that I can actually keep them, because as some of you may know, I have cats. And trying to keep cool plants while you have cats is actually so frustrating, because one, a lot of them can be toxic. Two, my cats are insane and they want to attack every single plant that I've ever had, and they end up killing them. So all the plants that I've spent money on in the past are just gone because my cats have killed them. But now that I have my animal room and my cats aren't allowed in there, I can keep so many different plants, and it's so fun. Oh goodness. This is getting very discombobulated. It's kind of stressing me out. That looks better. Dude, Dollar Tree was amazing for having this food container. I went to Walmart and I couldn't find any, like not even a soup container, which is so annoying. What do you mean Walmart doesn't have soup containers? This one is one that I'm going to put in a place that's not going to have a lot of water running through it. So that's why I chose one that doesn't have drainage. So I can fill like this much water in it and it'll grow some water roots. One thing that I learned while doing research on LECA is that when you're putting plants in LECA, you have to fertilize them, because they're just getting water. They're not getting any nutrients that they would from like soil Hi. Repotting my plants into LECA and filming a YouTube video.
These look like Cocoa Pebbles.
Don't they?
Yeah, what are they?
LECA.
Coffee beans? LECA?
Yes, LECA.
LECA?
Bruh. Okay. God, I'm getting overwhelmed by the amount of plants here. This is golden. This is also golden. This is lots of nasty roots. Lots of red nasty roots. More golden. More golden, more golden, more golden. I also have a, oh God. How did that even happen? This Monstera is busted. How did that happen? I was being so rough on the plants out there. Oh God. Poor thing. I have a sad Monstera. This is a golden one. Look at all of those roots in there. I really hope that this bounces back and is amazing and it doesn't get all nasty and annoying on me. One thing I will say is the amount of water that was inside of those plants, like the dirt ones, maybe they started growing water roots already because honestly, it was kind of ridiculous. This is a very long root. I'm not dealing with that. Got it. I feel like I was saying something. I don't remember. Oh, one thing that I learned with LECA is that you have to regularly fertilize it, like use fertilizer water on it. And I was thinking that I may not even have to do that because it's in an enclosure with an animal and she's going to be fertilizing it for me, if you know what I mean. Because trust me, that girl will be going everywhere. The thing that is going to be a little bit of a bummer at first is that the plants that I took out of there were covering so much space. And she's going to feel a little bit exposed, I think, until I can get some more plants. But it is what it is right now, honestly. This will offer her a lot more coverage in the long run. And it'll be a lot safer for her in the long run as well. Here is another. This one is pretty good. Now I have another. This one's not as full as the rest, but it'll offer me to be able to put it in a different area of the enclosure, which it will be nice. Oh no. I broke such a substantial root. It's okay. I also broke a substantial leaf, so maybe it'll balance out. I was being so rough because I was trying to get all this dirt off so that way it wouldn't rot and turn. Okay, I'll put this one in here. This pot is a little too big for this, but that is okay. Wow. I think I'm going to go through all of my LECA. Or a good portion of it, at least. There we go. A Monstera. It's just a Monstera deliciosa. Okay, more pothos. It's the way that I bought like 10 pounds of LECA and I'm gonna use all of it, which is crazy. But that just tells me that she is gonna have a lot of coverage in there eventually. I have one more that I would like to add in there for just a different variety of texture, and that is inside of my fish tank. I actually ended up putting a Majesty Palm baby inside of my fish tank just to see how it would grow. And it grew a lot of water roots, so that tells me that it's going to be okay in water. But need to take out. Here she is. This is what it is. Different type of leaf texture. Offer some variety. You can see these right here are the water roots that started growing inside of the fish tank. So all of these were like in the soil, and then it put off shoots like this that are all like white. It's the water roots. And I think it should fit in here okay. Eventually. If I bend them a little. This will also help it stay up in this container. Oh, have some duckweed in there. Don't want that. The perfect amount of LECA. All right. And exactly 10 pounds of LECA later, we are done with all of the plants. Now that we have all of the plants, let's go put them back in her enclosure. Okay, back in the animal room now. And poor baby Matcha. Oh, the guinea pigs are screaming. Hi, Piggy Piggy. Hi. You guys are ready for your spot clean soon, huh? Hi. Hi. Poor baby is so stressed. Look at that girl. She does not like the fact that she has zero coverage in here right now. I had to leave her inside of here because I didn't have anywhere else to put her while I was doing this, but yeah. See all that water that pools down there? That's what's going to wick up into the LECA, so that's going to be really nice. And you can see the gnats flying around from the soil. This is going to cut down on that so much. I know, Matcha, it's okay. She's so dark. Oh my goodness. She's dark and she's puffing herself up to make herself look massive. I'm going to give her a few bugs after this so that way she feels a little bit more comfy. And I know these gnats got to be bothering her. They're bothering me. Honestly, I think it'll be okay to leave some of it because the plants will start waking us up. So, just gonna get out the main debris. Give it a quick wipe. We just went through a shed, so there's like shed down here. And dead leaves and nastiness. Soil from the plants that got gross and fell out. Wow. YouTuber. I forgot to hit record. Okay, I'm back with all of my plants. I arranged the ones for the bottom to put in there. It's filling up this middle section really nicely. It's just going to continue growing. It's going to be amazing. But I brought in the bin with all of the pothos and everything. And I'm going to use my zip ties and try to zip tie them onto these branches. I'm basically going to loop a zip tie around here, kind of loosely. Oh, Otis is running on his wheel. I'm going to loop a zip tie around this pot so that way I can hang the pot through the zip tie. It'll make more sense in a minute. And then these two just past the little, there we go. So that way they get stuck. And then this should fit in here. And then I can use zip ties to hang this. And what's nice about doing it this way is I can take this out and then go water it or whatever if I need to. Well, it swings a tiny bit, but that is okay. It will hold there pretty nicely. And then as this grows, it will cover up here and start trailing down. Enclosure is done now. I'm feeding her bugs currently. Honestly, it went pretty well. I am liking the way that it turned out. I think that Matcha will like it eventually too, but right now she's a little bit nervous. I've been doing a lot of work with her, doing choice-based handling, and I've been slowly taking her out of her enclosure and sitting over here with her after she's eating or with her bugs, and she's doing really good. I'm excited for when the middle kind of fills out a little bit more, because right now the top is really full and the bottom is really full, but the middle still has like a lot of space. I think it's gonna fill out really well. Her mister is going off. You got it, good job. I had a lot of fun working on the enclosure with you guys and kind of just having a time where we sat down and chatted a little bit. I had a lot of fun repotting on the video, so if you would be interested in seeing more of my plants. I never talk this loud around her. I usually am whispering, so she's a little bit frightened, I think. But if you would like to see any other plant videos or repotting videos like that, I could definitely do those too. That would be a lot of fun, I think. If you guys have any other questions about chameleons or their care, or you just want to learn a little bit more, I could definitely make a more in-depth video about all the stuff that I have for her and her routines and everything, her care requirements. I know chameleons can be a lot, and I would definitely be down to do that. So just let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope that you enjoyed the video and the outcome of the enclosure. I know that I really enjoy it, and I think Matcha will enjoy it eventually too. For now, have a great day, and thank you for watching.